This is a story about a girl who didn't listen to her mother. Once upon a time, deep in a dark forest, there was a little girl named Layla. Everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood because she always wore a bright red hood that her grandmother had made for her. One day, her mother was baking delicious cakes all day long. And when they were ready, she packed them in a basket and said to Layla, "Take this basket to your grandmother's house. She's been sick and needs some rest. But remember, my dear, do not talk to strangers and stay on the safe path." Layla nodded with a smile and said, "Don't worry, Mama, I'll be careful." She walked happily through the forest, humming a little tune until suddenly she heard someone say, "Hello, little girl. Where are you going on this lovely day?" Layla turned around and saw a big gray wolf. He looked friendly, so she answered politely, "I am on my way to my grandmother's house. She's sick and I'm bringing her some cake." The wolf grinned slyly and said, "What a sweet girl. Why not pick some flowers for your grandmother? She would love them." Layla thought for a moment. That would indeed make her grandmother very happy. So she thanked the wolf and went to pick some flowers. Meanwhile, the wolf ran quickly to the grandmother's house. He knocked softly and said in a sweet voice, "It's me, Layla. I brought you some cake." The kind grandmother opened the door, but when she saw that it was a big bad wolf, she screamed, "Oh no!" But it was too late. The wolf had already jumped inside and locked the door. Quickly, he took off his dirty clothes and put on the grandmother's nightgown and cap. Then he got into bed and waited for Layla. Soon, Layla arrived. She found her grandmother lying in bed and she looked very strange. Layla said with worry, "Grandma, why are your ears so big?" The wolf said in a raspy voice, "To hear you better, my dear. But why are your eyes so big? To see you better. And why is your mouth so big? To eat you better." The wolf jumped out of bed to catch her, but luckily a brave hunter was passing by. He heard Layla scream, burst into the house and chased the big bad wolf away. Then Layla and her grandmother hugged each other tightly. Layla promised to herself that she would never talk to a stranger again. Moral of the story: never trust strangers, even if they seem kind. And always remember, children, to listen to your parents. They only want what's best for you. Hello, dear friends. This is a story about a girl who didn't listen to her mother and it ended badly. Once upon a time in a small village at the edge of a dark and scary forest, there lived a kind and pretty little girl. She always wore a bright red hood that her loving grandmother had made for her, so all the villagers started calling her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother fell ill and asked her grandmother to take care of her. So the mother said to her, "Go to your grandmother's house, dear. She's not feeling well and needs some rest. But remember, do not talk to strangers and stay on the safe path." "Don't worry, Mama, I'll be careful," she promised. And off she went, skipping merrily through the forest. She was humming a little tune and everything seemed fine until suddenly she heard a loud crash in the bushes. She stopped and gasped. Then out popped a big gray wolf with sharp teeth and claws. He looked at her with his big yellow eyes and asked in a friendly voice, "Well, hello there, little girl. What are you doing in the forest?" She hesitated for a moment, then answered politely, "I'm on my way to my grandmother's house. She isn't feeling well and I'm taking her some cake." The wolf grinned slyly and said, "What a nice girl you are. Why don't you pick some flowers for your grandmother? She would love them." "Oh, that's a great idea," she said, and went to pick some flowers. And all the time the wolf was thinking to himself, what a delicious meal she would be. So he ran as fast as he could to the grandmother's house. He knocked on the door and in a sweet voice said, "It's me, Layla. I brought you some cake." When the kind grandmother opened the door, the wolf jumped inside, closed the door and quickly put on her clothes. Then he got into bed and waited for Layla. After a while, she arrived, but she found her grandmother looking a bit strange. She said worriedly, "Grandma, why are your ears so big?" "To hear you better, my dear," said the wolf. "Oh, and Grandma, why are your eyes so big?" "To see you better," she said. "And Grandma, why is your mouth so big?" "To eat you better." The wolf jumped out of bed to catch her, but luckily a brave hunter was passing by. He heard her scream and burst into the house. He chased the wolf away and soon the poor grandmother was saved. Then Layla hugged her grandmother tightly and promised to never talk to strangers again. Friends, let's take care of each other and listen to our parents. They only want what's best for us. And remember, strangers may seem nice, but they might not be. Until next time.